God for me.
It's all about community and getting people together and enjoying a super fun event, and the Ponoka Stampede does a fantastic job of that. We have so many great events. I mean, we've got the Greatest Horseman down at the Calnash, we've got the Midway, we've got the trade show, and of course the rodeo performance. We've actually got 2, including the chuck wagons, so it really does have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Adam Sos here for Rebel News on location at the Ponoka Stampede, enjoying some Western lifestyle on this Canada Day. You know, I can't think of a more appropriate way to spend one's Canada Day than enjoying some of this culture that helped build this province and indeed helped build this country. We're going to be speaking with folks about why they've decided to spend their Canada Day out here, whether it be at the rodeo, the fairgrounds, or over at the trade show. What do you say to folks who maybe haven't had a chance to come out to check out the rodeo? What are they missing?
Oh, I think they're missing a lot of excitement if they haven't been around livestock and stuff, and the ability the cowboys and cowgirls have with the horses. It's not everybody that can handle livestock the way they do, and it takes special people to do that.
I mean, it's part of our culture and it's part of our heritage, and those are the folks that built this country, and they're the folks that built this part of the world, and we'd love to be a part of it.
I mean, it's Canada Day. How can you not come to Ponoka Stampede? It's a huge show. How many people are here? There's thousands of people here. It's a wicked show. We have some of the best bull riders, bronc riders. Rodeo is at its peak here. There's no way you're gonna miss it if you're a rodeo fan in Canada. There's nothing sillier.
For folks who haven't had the chance to come out to the rodeo, who haven't been to an event like this, shockingly those Albertans who haven't been to a rodeo, what do you say to those folks? What are they missing out on?
Everything. It's a great time. It's a great time to come out and watch the guys and the animals perform. I'd say everyone needs to experience it at least once.
Now, this is Canada Day for you. How representative of Canada is this sort of cowboy lifestyle, this cowboy culture?
Well, as the rodeo announcer says, the west of Canada is the best of Canada. I'm not saying the east isn't bad, but we're a cowboy country.
Yeah,
that's what Alberta is. That's what Canada is.
It's super critical. The rodeo is the backbone of all the Alberta small communities, so it's very important that people come out. And this is the busiest we've actually ever seen this rodeo. We've been coming for 5 years. So
with sort of, I mean, there might be a sentiment maybe from the east, maybe from Ottawa, that's a bit anti-Western. What does it mean to have so much support locally for these events?
Oh, that's a good question. You can tell that the people are proud of what they do, and they're going to join together no matter what.
I am now joined by Cash Bonnet. He is a header in the team roping competition. How did today go for you?
It went pretty good. We ended up placing in the round, so we happy with that.
Wonderful. So maybe for folks out there who haven't had a chance to come out to rodeo, haven't had a chance to experience it, what are they missing?
Oh, I mean, it's good. Everyone's here with their family and good action.
Wonderful. I guess one more question for you, if you don't mind. There are some folks out there concerned about the treatment of animals. I know anyone familiar with rodeo knows that these are like family members. Yeah. But can you talk just a little bit about the relationship that a cowboy has with his animals?
Yeah, I mean, like my horse, he's my everything. If I don't got him, I got nothing. So he gets treated better than I do. He's got all sorts of boots and stuff that he wears to stay good. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right, I am now joined by JD Strixness. He had the best time today in steer wrestling. You know, for folks out there who maybe haven't had a chance to come down to a rodeo, just what's it like? What's the energy like? And what's it like to have a win and run out there?
No, it's a great atmosphere, and especially at a big rodeo here like Ponoka. The stands are packed. It's a Saturday afternoon, Canada Day, of course, for you guys up here. And when you go out there and it's full crowd and the crowd goes wild, it's just the greatest feeling in the world.
Awesome. So where are you from then?
I'm originally from Minnesota. We've been living in Texas, and then my fiance is from up here, so we come up here in the summers now. It's a little cooler.
Awesome. Well, as you mentioned, it is Canada Day. Just how much does sort of the cowboy culture identify with Canada? Are those things synonymous for you?
It identifies a lot, like, the core values and everything. You know, everybody's pretty patriotic, the rodeos and whatever, so we got Canada Day, and we roll right into the 4th of July down there. Yeah. So it's a big weekend, and of course lots of rodeos to go to, and we're busy, and it's all good fun.
So I'm now joined by the president of the Ponoka Stampede, Jason Klein. Jason, just how's the weekend? How's the Stampede going so far?
Oh, it's been fantastic so far. Record crowds again. The weather's great. Almost too hot a couple of days. No major issues, and it's been fantastic.
So it's Canada Day. What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to sort of the Western lifestyle in general to have folks sort of identify this as such a Canadian thing and come down here to celebrate?
Well, if you were there today, you seen it in the crowd, right? There was red colors everywhere, and everybody was celebrating, flags hanging out of the suites, and it was just everybody loves to celebrate it.
Some of the other values you sort of see on display here, you have the veterans coming out in force, standing ovation for the veterans, the singing of the anthem, a very sort of patriotic sentiment. Is there anything quite like rodeo, that's an emblem of sort of that Canadian culture, cowboy culture, Western lifestyle?
No, I don't. I mean, I might be a little bit biased, but I don't think so. I mean, again, you look today and just the crowd and everybody was into it. You know, even the Canadian competitors, right? They're dressing up a little bit. It was really good.
So I'm now joined by Kaylee Sean, who is Miss Ponoka Stampede. Can you think of a more sort of appropriate way to spend Canada Day?
Certainly not, to be honest. This is a great way to get the family together, the community together, and celebrate the sport that we all love. I mean, this is really just bringing everybody in and having a good time, enjoying, and being very patriotic.
It's incredible. Good weather so far. Things are going great. One of the things that really stands out that you may not see in all of society is really sort of the reverence for the anthem. We had some veterans coming out here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it pays homage to the amazing country that we have, and I think being patriotic is incredibly important, especially on a day like today. So, you know, paying respect and paying tribute to the people that have served and, you know, served our country and done such a fantastic job. I think that's really important. It's all about community and getting people together and enjoying a super fun event, and the Ponoka Stampede does a fantastic job of that. We have so many great events. I mean, we've got the greatest horseman down at the Calnash, we've got the Midway, we've got the trade show, and of course the rodeo performance. We've actually got 2, including the chuck wagons, so it really does have a little bit of everything for everybody.
I spent Canada Day here for probably 26 years, so it's our home rodeo. I grew up here. My family runs wagons. They're the Dorchesters. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Now, some of the cities have become very modernized, maybe forgotten about their Western roots. How important do you think it is for city folks to get out here, sort of get their boots in the dirt, see some horses, see some guys, some cowboys and cowgirls working hard? How important that is for city folks?
Well, it's really important. I mean, if you come out, you can actually see the sport. You can see the way it is. It's not the same way as it is in the media, the way it's portrayed. These guys work real hard. They're good athletes. The horses are great athletes, and they're a team. You know, they're a partnership, and the Cowboys care as much about their horses as they do about their family, and they've said that as much.
Well, I mean, no matter what it is, if you're vegan or you're a meat eater, I guess, I mean, you have to support agriculture. Anything you do, agriculture right there behind it. Your jeans, cotton. You know, like, we're always growing what you guys need. And Western events like this, the rodeo, it's just a time for the actual cowboys like that to show up and show off. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, the horses get treated better than I do at jobs. So, like, it's just, no one understands, not no one. They don't get, you know?
So do you think it's important then to sort of stand up, reject that narrative, support cowboys, support local industries, and be proud to be Western?
It is 4,000 times more important this decade to support Western and actually understand what's going on than it has been forever. I mean, like my grandparents, they had thousands of acres of land, and it's all gone because there was taxes and blah, 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 right? And now it's people don't want to buy crop or they don't want to buy beef. Western tradition built this country. It built the states, too.
Yeah.
2 superpowers. We need to keep continuing that. That's what we need to do.
So this year at Ponoka Stampede, we have the Little Braves Relay in here. It's just the little ponies back here, and we have all the kids. It's just, relay in general is just something that we do to reconnect with the ancestors, reconnect with the horse spirits, and we try and get the kids in there as much as possible to keep them, you know, keep them safe and to keep them out of trouble and all of that, and keep them on the go, and just, because they love it, they do. And we brought it here so that we could showcase it. It's been years since they've had relay, any type of pony, anything, with the Indigenous people here in Ponoka, so it was really awesome when they invited us back to come here. So, yeah.
Well, the history of Indian relay racing brings us back to our way of life. It's part of the buffalo hunt, and we're honoring our culture and who we are, and showcasing Indian relay. Like it was a part of our way of life, and now we brought it into an extreme sport with professional athletes, and right now teaching our children, you know, those are our future who are going to keep this race going for us.
And what's it like to be invited? This is a big pro rodeo. To be invited out to that show, is it emotional, challenging? What's going through your head?
yes, it's definitely emotional. There's so much going through my head right now. Just really thankful, that we finally got to this point to be, invited to one of the biggest events here in Alberta and in Canada, and that we're able to show the world who we are as First Nations people, and showing who we are and our culture.
Well, the rodeo events for the day have wrapped up here. That being said, the chuck wagon races are still scheduled to take place tonight. As you can see, a little bit of wind has come in and it is a little bit stormy, so hopefully that'll clear up a little bit and those events will be able to take place tonight. It was great chatting with folks today who identify sort of Western lifestyle and cowboy culture with Canada so intimately that this is the place they wanted to spend their Canada Day. It's a sort of a great repudiation of the anti-Western sentiment and even the anti-Canada Day sentiment that we have coming out of Ottawa, whether it be from Justin Trudeau or other politicians. These folks are proud to be Western, proud to be cowboy, and proud to be Canadian. As always, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. For Rebel News, I'm Adam Soos. Everyone, just on the way back after covering the incredible Ponoka Stampede. Getting out here covering these Western lifestyle and cowboy stories is great, but unlike the mainstream media who get billions of dollars to cover their agendas and their stories, we rely on your support to be able to get out here. So consider chipping in a few bucks by going to rebelfieldreports.com now.